Nature in your own backyard. One of the coolest things about living in the 21st century is that we have access to all the different seeds from all the different plants we could possibly want. And since this channel is dedicated to the outdoors and nature and hiking and things like that, I thought I would do a walk and talk in my own yard. It's easy to overlook, and I'm grateful. I know a lot of people don't have yards. That was my, from last year. This survived the winter. These were my artichokes, and they're coming back. And I got over here. This is, I cannot recall what it's, I believe it's a type of hemlock. But anyhow, it was a bonsai tree when I first got it, and unfortunately I kind of let it grow instead of keeping it a bonsai. But it's really soft hemlock-like needles, but it's deciduous. It loses its needles. And then I've got my Japanese maple, which used to be really small. My little pond, just needs some help. Growing some maple plants, maple trees. Here's my blueberry plant. Right now I'm getting ready to swap out a fence here. It's going to take me a bit. So I'm digging out a little to level out the ground. I've got my wisteria here. I love the wisteria. My grapes. And then my cedar tree here, I love this thing. It was in a pot before we planted it to replace this giant blue spruce that fell down in a storm a few years back. Several years back. It was a really nice tree. But then I've got all my random plants over here, different flowers, some wild harvested violets down there, and some ocean spray. But then the cream of the crop here, which is my raspberry plants. My wife brought them home last year. There's two kinds. There's Meeker raspberry and Canby raspberry. And I've noticed, I believe it's the Canby that doesn't have thorns. So I've realized that's how I can tell them apart. Let me look down to make sure. So yeah, here's the tag. Okay, so the Canby is the one on the left. No, the Canby is the one over here. So the Canby is the one that doesn't have many thorns at all. But the Meeker, it creeps over here, and it kind of confused me. But those stems are pretty clear. Anyhow, every one of these blooms is going to turn into a whole lot of berries, and I'm very excited to eat them. And there are a lot on here. And so early in the year, they start to put out these suckers, these new growth, which will just pop up all over the place. And you can just dig them out, plant them, which is what I did here. And these are all my new raspberry cuttings that I just took, or rather, propagating these from root. So next year I'll be able to plant those over there by the fence and have a raspberry garden every year. Here's a few of my strawberries and various flowers. My wife has been picking up more and more flowers, so we're just working on that. I'm getting ready for the spring, so just thought I'd do that for this channel. Let people know where I'm coming from. Can't wait to plant the garden. This whole area will be an awesome garden, and I'll definitely update. Take care, my friends.